Live from the City of Angels. Friday night. Rare. MMT live. As always, if you watched The Electric State, you know why you're hearing what you're hearing. Danzig's mother welcomes Chris Pratt to the film. Here we go, guys. It's time for the live MMT evaluation of The Electric State. Friday night. Let's go. Man, it's got energy. Oh. $320 million this film cost. Can you imagine? Listen, we're not reviewing the budget. That's not my job. That's not what I do here. We can talk about that. It's a part of the composite of this film, but the film's not good or bad based on the budget. It makes no sense. Why would you ever say that? You can say, I wish they got more for their money or something to that effect, which we'll get into. But no, man, you can't say, oh, this is already terrible because they spent $320 million. I would never do it. I would never greenlight this at this budget. No chance. But guys, that's not what we're doing here tonight. And I've got some news for you. I can't believe I'm saying this. This is the best Russo Brothers film post Endgame. It is. It is. It's way better than Gray Man. Definitely better than Cherry. And I know this is one of these nights where you expect me to come on here and hammer a film. And I'm not telling you I didn't have issues with the film, right? But remember, what do? Better than anybody else. I let the facts speak for themselves. And I'm very unbiased, and I do not have an agenda, ever, when I watch these things. And as much as I trash the Gray Man, go back and watch that stream, I wipe the slate clean, and we start over at zero. The scale always goes back to zero. You go back and you look at my reaction to Kinds of Kindness after Poor Things. I like Kinds of Kindness. This is what makes MMT the number one destination for fairness in film. It's not a contest, never has been, never will be. Before we get into why this is the best Russo Brothers film post-Endgame, let's watch just a taste of The Electric State. Here is the tight teaser trailer for Netflix's $320 million. Of all the songs in this film, a lot of them orchestral versions, like you just heard when you wish upon a star, right? There's so much of that going on in this film. You don't think that costs cash? Of course it does. But the number one thing that costs money in this film is, without question, the effects. I've never seen more robots on a screen in my life, right? All that CG. When you watch this film, and I recommend you do, for a few reasons here tonight, and I'm not going to savage it, which I know is very, very shocking to a lot of you. You expected me to come on here and butcher the Russo Brothers again, and it's not happening. As I said coming in, it's the best Russo Brothers film post-Endgame. That says nothing, right? I mean, guys, go back to Cherry, a Michael Bay, out-of-control awards film, right? They tried to make that an awards film, and you're watching it, you're like, oh, my God, I am just being bludgeoned by this. And then you go to The Gray Man, I would argue one of the worst edited films, chaotic, that I've ever seen. I mean, I was in the Chinese theater here in Hollywood watching the premiere of that, and what's happening? I almost got up and screamed and go, where are the Russo brothers right now? Who edited this shit? This is out of control. The scene where they all have the giant fight and he's in the van and they're shooting in the middle of the city, that is, I swear to God, go back and watch. If you want to see how not to edit a film, how to put 78 shots into 30 seconds, watch that. It's garbage. That film's trash. There's no way to even defend that. This film, at the beginning, I'm like, oh no, we're doing this again with the Russo brothers, because you have a lot of quick edits and it's just no patience. And then once we finally settle down, you get into more of what I want to watch. This is not a great film, man. Come on, guys. I'm not doing that here tonight. But I'm telling you, there's very solid effects. It's $320 million, and I will tell you the effects are good, okay? It's on the screen. It's a shame this wasn't in theaters for the mere fact that there's nothing else out right now. Guys, there is Novocaine, Black Bag, and the abysmal Mickey 17. I would rather watch The Electric State for 24 hours straight than watch one more second of Mickey 17. That movie can fuck off. I mean, I swear to God, that is one of the worst films I've ever sat through. Okay? It will easily be in our top 5 worst films of the year. So The Electric State is not nearly that criminal. Okay? It is what it is. It's a recycled, non-novel story, right? We've seen all of this before. We've got to go on a journey to find something. Along the way, we meet all these weirdos, and we form a group, and we take down the bad guy. We've seen this a million times. I'm not telling you anything I watched here tonight was original. But I do like Chris Pratt. I admit to this, and again here, even though he's playing Star-Lord, a different version, but basically the same character. I like Chris Pratt. Whether it's Lego Movie, whether it's this, whether it's Moneyball, go way back. You go and you look at his career, I think that he's an underrated actor. And don't tell me he plays the same person in every movie. Like I say, he's playing Star-Lord. But so does every actor. Give me a break. Jack Quaid, who's in Novocaine. How many times are you going to do Jack Quaid? Okay? Very few actors get outside of their typical blueprint in every film, right? Bang, 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 stamp it out. So I like him, okay? Millie Brown, what's her name? Whatever her name is. Let me tell you, this is the first time I've ever seen her. I've never in my life seen her in a movie because I don't watch Stranger Things. I haven't watched anything on Netflix other than this. The reason I'm watching this is because it's a Russo Brothers movie, and it's $320 million, and it really should be in theaters. That's why we're making exceptions here for this film here tonight. And I don't hate myself for watching it. I'm not giving any credit to Netflix because, trust me, they are completely disrespectful to cinema by not putting this in theaters. Not legitimately. In one theater in Westwood last week. Oh, wow. What a footprint that is. No AMC, no Regal, no nothing. So this doesn't deserve any respect in that regard. Nothing changes on that front from me and Netflix. But here's what I'll tell you is as I look at this film here tonight, I don't have a problem with the Russo brothers getting back in with Marvel and directing another film. I had to see something other than The Gray Man, and certainly Cherry. And this will at least get me back on the side of, okay, let them cook with the right script. The script is not fantastic, but I think they do an admirable enough job here. And again, effects work. I think the edits are fine here. It's not out of control like Gray Man. And overall, it's very much of a C movie. My score's coming up in a minute. I also want to draw attention to this. It's very important because I always drill down on this is a big problem. It happened again here tonight. We need to find better composers. Okay, Alan Silvestri, of course, did a lot of the Marvel, if not all of it, right? Avengers, Captain America. So he has done things. The guy's, I believe, in his 70s now. At this point, what I'm hearing from this score is generic, syrupy garbage, and it doesn't do anything for the film. Now, I'm not telling you that if we slapped a Ludwig Göransson score on this, we would have an A, but I can promise you this, I'd bump it up 5 points minimum. Because this score does nothing for the film. Directors, I know you watch. I know you respect us because you should. You need to find new up-and-coming composers that do weird shit. This film is this score, it's just so by the numbers. Anybody could do this. Lorne Balfe, Silvestri, whoever you want to pick. It's the same shit, and I want to hear something different. Try something unique. I don't care what it is. Anything's better than this. So that's a big miss here on this film. The fix for this goes back to what I said about nothing about this is really original or that funny or any of that because it's not zany enough. It's not weird enough. I think one of the reasons like a movie like Lego Movie works, obviously you have very substantially talented writers in Lord and Miller, right? They're just creative comic geniuses. You don't get that from many people in this town. And I wish we had more writers who had a weird sense of humor that could bring that and imprint it on a big film like this and make it more memorable, because nothing about this will be memorable. Okay. That said, the average person is not going to hate it. The Netflix consumer that eats at McDonald's and watches this shit will think it's fine. It's better than the Tomorrow War, okay? If you want to compare it to other streaming sci-fi things. It's also, I think, better than, what was the other? It's definitely better than the last one. What was the two-parter from What's-His-Ass who did the Superman movie? You know what? I'm literally forgetting dude's name right now. It's better than that. That movie's terrible, right? Never even watched part 2 of that. So at least Netflix sort of did something okay here. MMT scores 75%. I mean, right? It's a C. So if you ask me, because I do have reviews on critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and if you ask me if I'd make this fresh or rotten, I'd actually make it fresh. It'd be like a C is my cutoff, C minus. So right there it's a fresh film. Barely, but there's enough good here to warrant, okay, watch it on Netflix if you have nothing else going on. I had more fun with this film than I did Mickey 17, as we just discussed, and a lot of films that I've seen this year that have been really terrible. So, again, shame that Netflix did not put this in theaters. It really is, because it deserves to be in theaters. It's a passable movie. It seems made for Netflix and home attention spans, but not the train wreck expected. Exactly, Mark. You know, you're fair. I like Mark. He gets it. You know, that's the thing. So many people in the space, they say, this is the film we can attack, right? And I've never done that. And I'm not doing it here tonight. And by the way, that's not by design. That's by being open, fair, and honest and being objective with these things, not walking in with, oh, man, here comes the Russo brothers again. I wanted to. You guys know that. I said I was going to hammer this film. And then I'm watching it, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I can't. And that's what makes me the best in the space. Nobody, and I mean it, there's nobody who's even comes close. There's no contest. Guys, there's nobody. Not anyone in second place, not in third. There's me, 50 feet of shit, and then the next team, Moneyball, right? Oh, yeah. I'm the fucking Yankees. I'm the Red Sox. Everyone else is the A's were actually good. Everyone else is who's the worst team in baseball, whoever that is. If this didn't cost $350 million, people wouldn't be so against it. But see, remember, Harrison, we're not doing that. Our job is not to grade a film on a curve based on budget. It makes no sense. See, again, who's right? Me. It's another W for me. It's over and over, because that's not what we do. You don't say, you say, does the film work? Then we talk budget. Now, would I ever make this film for $320 million as it is? Hell no. No chance. Because, first of all, there's no theatrical attached. So I'm like, well, where are we going to make any money from box office? None. So why are we doing this? I mean, is Netflix a giant money laundering scheme? I have no idea how this even works. Can they get this much money in new subscribers? I don't understand the model. It makes no sense. But for my money, I don't understand why you just don't throw this in theaters and let people go see it. Make some money box office. Look at Red One. Red One made almost $200 million worldwide, right? I believe that's something like that. Now, it wasn't profitable, but there's $200 million. Granted, you give to the theaters, advertising. Let's say they took home $90 million. Let's just say 90 from that. I don't know. Let's just throw a number out there. It's maybe there. Maybe it's 75, 90, somewhere in there. At least that's better than zero. And here's the thing. I don't even think you have to advertise this much, because right now there's nothing in movie theaters. People will be like, I'll go see Electric State. It's got Chris Pratt. It's got Millie Bobby Brown. So why not take a chance? I don't want to see Black Bag. Not interested in Novocaine for sure. Mickey 17 sucks ass. So let's just go see Electric State. But they never gave us the opportunity. Netflix will never get off of the shit list here on MMT because of the fact they have no respect for you, the movie-going lover. And that's unacceptable, 100%. So obviously that still stands here with this review here tonight. Anyone else who had a chance to watch it, come in a couple comments. We won't go super long tonight because it's Friday night. I don't usually do this. We will check cinema scores here in a minute because we are on live on a Friday night. Considering how little they spent able to pull off the Godzilla -1, you got to wonder if all these bloated Hollywood CGI budgets, just one big money laundering op. I mean, it is a question that I've always asked with these films that have these massive budgets of 200 million plus. As we've seen here, let me just pull in what we see from the government. We're seeing right now from DOGE. I'm not going to get into politics, but I'm going to tell you, you don't think that money is spent and then nothing is received for it? As we've seen in this town in LA, so much money spent on homeless and nothing changes. Where's all the money go? How about the high-speed rail here in California? Where did all those billions go? There's not 0 feet of track. How does that happen, right? So you don't think that that takes place in other industries? Of course it does. I just don't understand it, nor do I want to. My whole emphasis is in making the best film. Now, there are constraints to that. Like I said, I would never greenlight this at 320. If I got this script, it wouldn't be good enough even to greenlight at 100. I would say we've got to go in and make this a better film, and then I'll push the budget if this film gets to a whiz-bang, funny, quick, interesting, more original film. So in other words, I would never make it, right? So I'm not defending them and making this film. So the problem we have, though, in Hollywood is that we have so many marginally talented people in positions of creative power, and they stay in power through the good old boy network or whatever it may be, checking boxes. And the problem is we all suffer because the quality just isn't at that level where it becomes memorable. I mean, Electric State will never be remembered 5 years from now, okay? It's gone. But why can't we make something better, right? I mean, it goes back to Pretty Woman. We talk about making boats again. It's like literally that. Why can't we go back to that mentality of making great films? And, you know, it just gets back to the lack of talent, the lack of fortitude by the studio heads to say, yes, let's take a chance. This looks good. I love that this is something different, not the same old shit that we've seen, like we're seeing this weekend with Novocaine, the beta male turns assassin garbage trope that we've seen a million times. Here it is. I don't even want to watch that. By the way, apparently box office wise, I nailed it last night. I called it. I told you Novocaine at 8, and I told you Black Bag at 6. Looks like that's where we are. We'll have the updates on Sunday morning. That's looking like right now, according to Deadline. So we're good. We're so good. God, we're good. I know, but it's true. Even the haters out there watching, he's fucking good. You know, Weber's, but he's so fucking good. I don't know what to do. I'm really conflicted here. Let's check cinema scores and we'll come back and get a couple of comments. Let's actually, before we do that, let's check the latest on Electric State on Rotten Tomatoes because it is really low. And I'm sitting here going, why is this so low? And you can see it at 19%. 16, it dropped. I thought it was at 16%. I mean, look, the popcorn, 75. Exactly. Okay? So, remember, this is an easy film for people to hammer, right? You've got The Ringer, you've got Rolling Stone. Who else is hammering this thing? Let's see. Let's hit all of them. It's not cool to say it's okay. Right? 3 out of 10. Austin Burke, man, you're going to join our schizo critics. Welcome to the club. On Sunday, Austin Burke joins the schizo critic. I'm telling you, let me tell you, guys, I'm not kidding you. Please listen to me. I'm going to do it again. I did it last night. I got to do every stream. I got to do this. The number of truly talented people in this space, what I'm doing right now is sub 5, not 5%, 5. I can't name them. I'm just going to throw a number out there, 5. Do you know how many people are in the space? Thousands. I'm not kidding you. The percentage of people who are good is 0.1. It is not even 1%. That's how fucking pathetic the people are in the space. They are untrustworthy. They have agendas. They have biases. They have a left or a right wing view. They're anti-woke or pro-woke. I'm none of those things. That's what makes me better. I dominate you fucking bitches 24 hours a day, 365. If you want me to get shirtless, I'll fucking dominate you again. Do not fuck around. I'm the fucking king. I'm the fucking king. Do not ever ask that question because I promise you I am, okay? This is the real fucking deal right here. And I'm telling you, these people are fucking jokes. almost every one of these people. And you know what? I don't want to say that. I don't want to come off, but the reality is it's the truth. You cannot tell me that everybody who steps into the space has any modicum of talent. No. You got to prove yourself. And I'm not talking 1 year or 2 years. I'm talking 5. I'm talking 10. I'm talking repeatedly nailing these things. And the problem is when you give a 94% to Mickey 17, it's over. There's no coming back from that. Do you guys understand? There is no return. And if someone wants to come in here, and I've got Gone Girl, bounce the fuck out of them. I don't want them here anymore. If anyone comes in here, film is subjective. You don't know. You're fucking gone. I'm done. We're not having the conversation. If you think Mickey 17 is quality cinema, if you think this is a good film, you're gone. It's done. You're done. Okay? Like Shannon in Drive. It's over. It's done. I don't need to hear another word from you. There are certain films you need to shut your mouth on. And I can promise you this. Mickey 17 is one. Megalopolis is one. Babylon is one. Beau is Afraid is one. These are all films there's no room for error. And if you go anywhere near a positive on those films, it is fucking over. There's no redemption. None. This is a film that is not a 3 out of 10. It's not great. But remember, it's the easy thing to do, right? Oh, look, here comes the Russo brothers. Let's hammer it. Not cool. Because you're not reliable, man. Mark, all props to you because you didn't. Listen, you saw the same thing I saw because I think you're fair. There's so many people in this world that are so fucking biased. They cannot get out of their own way and just be objective in the moment and watch something and remove all of the distraction and just base what you're talking about on what you're watching at this moment. I'm not reviewing this against The Gray Man. I'm not reviewing this against Cherry. I said it's a better film, but I'm not starting going, oh, well, this is from The Gray Man Russos, therefore I'm starting at minus 50, right? Because that's how bad that film is. Whenever I go to watch Bong's next film, let's pray it's better than Mickey 17. I'll be back to 0. I won't even be ahead for Parasite or below for Mickey 17. You must reset the scale every time. You must. Is Millie Bobby Brown a movie star? She's cute. She's super cute. Okay? Let's just call spade. Oh, Weber, how dare I'll say what I fucking want. I'll take my shirt off and you go, well, I mean, yeah, the guy can he can talk. That's what makes me different too, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I can play this game and a lot of people can't because you look like Jabba the fucking Hutt. And it's creepy when you say that shit. When I say, like, well, I can don't even make me bring up the Elizabeth Olsen story. I don't want to have to do it again here tonight, but it's the reality. Guys, I'm not the Andrew Tate of this world. I'm just here to tell you I have options, okay? It's because I've worked hard for them. I bust my ass at the gym. I do what I can, okay? And the point is I can say these things and get away with it because it's not creepy because I don't look like fucking Jabba the Hutt because I go to the gym. That's the difference. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, we'll have some fun here on Friday night. You like this shit? Let's do it. Sully, this is for sure an easy film to dog on. That being said, definitely a 3 out of 10. No way. No, Sully, listen. Thank you at least for agreeing on the visuals. But I think that this film is just good enough for me to accept. I wasn't really into it. I hit pause a bunch, but overall it's a C. That's not great. That's not a great grade. Okay? C. 75 sounds good. It's a C. In my world, a C. Is a C good? If you came home from school and your parents back in the day with a C, would your parents be like, yeah, everybody, this is a C. Put it up on the fridge. Put that on the magnet and then bang. No, hell no. Hell no, they wouldn't. So that's what we're talking about here. But you do agree the visuals are good. Back to Millie Bobby Brown. Yes, she's cute. No question. 0. Okay? But I think she acquits herself nicely. She is literally a doppelganger for Natalie Portman. Right? You go back and look at Portman, going back to The Professional and her career coming up. She's basically just doing that. It's the same thing. Hollywood loves a clone. We look at Johnny Depp and Skeet Ulrich, right? Don't anyone say me and Robert Downey Jr. It's not. Remember, I did this whole thing to look like Johnny Depp, but it's failed. No one has ever said, you look like Johnny Depp. Therefore, it was a fail. It's a total L. because I didn't achieve what I really wanted to with my now mustache, formerly goatee. But here's the thing. They love clones. And you look at anybody who resembles someone else, Keira Knightley, and who's the other version of Keira Knightley? There's two Keira Knightley. Who's the other one? And then you look at Samara Weaving and Margot Robbie. Clones. That's what Hollywood does. They say, that's why I'm surprised. We haven't had a director say, you know what, Weber sort of looks like RDJ. Let's put him in some kind of bad, like, B movie as the bad guy. I can go shirtless, like, tomorrow. I don't have to, like, hit the gym. I'm ready, okay? I can do this shit. I can be the guy, like a crazy ass. Listen, I promise you I would be okay. I'm not saying I'd be great, but I promise you I'd go for it, right? You wouldn't be like, look at me on the screen. Do I not go for it here? Why would I not go for it in front of the camera? I'm doing it in front of the camera right now. So it wouldn't change. I mean, give me a chance. Someone out there, if you want to put me in, I'll be in the background if you need a shirtless guy for 302 or 301 or 299, whatever the fuck the movie's going to be. Whether a prequel or sequel. We already had the sequel, right? Didn't we? That wasn't very good. But 300, Zack Snyder. I didn't look at any comments. It took me forever to remember Zack Snyder, whatever that movie was. God, what was the movie? The two-parter. The Netflix, like, war film that was Star Wars ripoff. God, that was bad. This is better. This is better. Now that you mention it, actually look like Skeet. Yeah, thank you. I do. And I told you my story of sitting down with Skeet Ulrich at the bar in Santa Monica post Critics' Choice. That was the night, and I've told you guys the story. I was at the table. Now, one more time for everyone who's never heard that story. I was at the table, and Skeet Ulrich was here. His young girlfriend was here, and I was with another gal who was not just drop dead gorgeous. Not guys, I don't tell lies. Drop dead. We're at the table, we're having a discussion, and all of a sudden, remember, this is who you're talking to, the guy who will defend till the ends of time what I believe about a film. They said, hey, let's talk about 3 Billboards. And I went, oh God, 3 fucking Billboards. What an overrated film. Everyone at the table just stopped. Skeet Ulrich, like, put his drink down, and, like, the record right in the movies. And my chances with the gal who was seated to my right just evaporated at that moment. It was over. This guy just said 3 Billboards is bad. I'm like, hey, damn right I did, and fuck all you all. I'm leaving. I mean, that's how I roll, okay? So, yes, if I look like Skeet Ulrich, then so be it. I mean, he had a nice career for a while, right, as we know from Scream, and he was in a lot of movies. He was like a star, right? Remember in the mid-90s, he was in a bunch of films. None of them did very well, but they were like, we can't get Depp. Let's get Skeet. Okay, so I think with Millie, bringing it back to Millie Bobby Brown is Natalie Portman younger. And listen, Hollywood loves younger. Anybody younger. And then we can work them till they're about 40 for a woman. And then it's over. It's over. You're 40. Hold on. The clock just turned 40. You're done. That's how Hollywood operates. If you're a dude, you can go forever, right? Look at Michael Douglas was going for now. I mean, finally, you finally reach a point. You look at Hoffman, you look at Nicholson. I think that was self-imposed. He kind of took himself out of Hollywood. But there's a point where you're just like, you're too old, right? We talked about that with directors. Once you reach a certain age, it's called 70, 75. You look at Michael Mann, he's lost his fastball. You look at Ridley Scott, lost his fastball. You look at a lot of these directors as the age. Coppola, woo, baby. Megalopolis. When you look at these guys, they're just not the same guys they were when they were 40, 50, even 60. And it's time to move on. Okay, actors can still find a way. Martin Short, you look at Steve Martin, still looks great, sounds great. But I think some people, it just depends on how cogent they are. How do they age? You know, you hear about Bruce Willis losing his faculties. It really depends on genetics and all that stuff. How long can they go? Some actors can go a lot further than others. But in Hollywood, it's not about, for women, it's not about, you know, how long can you go? It's about how do you look? You look at Nicole Kidman, a lot of work done. We talked about last night, when we're looking at Cate Blanchett in Black Bag, stop with the fillers. She has like these, right, the fillers here, and it's starting to make her look like Catwoman. That was our big takeaway from the film last night. Stop fucking with your face, Cate Blanchett. And that's the thing. But the pressure is so strong. And by the way, Ryan Gosling has the injected stuff. You guys seen his face. It's totally puffy. He's got that stuff going on. He's got fillers. So it's not just Tom Cruise. You look at anyone who's aging in Hollywood, you don't want any wrinkles. Can't have that because you're, you know, giant on the big screen. We can't have that. I think it's the opposite. I think you really want to look weathered. You want to look aged. Go back and I talked about Cobra Kai, looking at Johnny Lawrence, right? Looking at him when I first saw that show come back, and I was like, man, he has aged, right? All those wrinkles, but that's what made that character so lovable. He kind of embraced that, obviously, and didn't go and get all of this face work. Macho looked like he had a little bit. And I think anybody in this town has had some kind of work, especially with fillers. And just lay off, man. Just fucking lay off. Man's still planning Heat 2, I believe he is. And that's disappointing because, listen, again, if you watch Ferrari, it's over. I mean, you guys, Ferrari's so unimpressive. From a directorial standpoint, it is one of the most unimpressive films you're going to watch because he's lost his fastball. He's 70-some years old. I don't expect to still be doing the stream at any level of goodness. Even now, it's terrible. Imagine me at 70, which is like 2 years away. That's going to be Benjamin Button. Let me tell you, it's very difficult to continue doing this because you're going to slow down. Your brain's just not going to fire as quickly. Maybe I'll have to have 3 C4s instead of 2 before I do a stream. Here are the cinema scores here tonight. Thanks for being here on this Friday. We're only going to go a little bit longer. 30 minutes. This is like a short stream for us, but it is Friday. I want to talk about Electric State, get that out of the way, tell you it's not the worst movie ever made, and then you go, oh, Weber's doing his thing again. He's being against type. Well, so what? I didn't ask for it. That's the natural reaction. It's never planned. It just happens organically. Here are the cinema scores for all the new movies. These are bad new films, right? And I don't mean like I haven't seen some of these, but for as far as being appetizing, this is not good stuff. Okay, Black Bag, B, we talked about it last night. What I give that film? A C, right? And look, B cinema score is bad. It's not a B. It's a bad B. Remember, this thing needs to be at an A minus. Anything below that, they don't like. B plus is the last grade you want. Once you drop to B, audiences are like, yeah, and that's Black Bag, okay? It's got some things good. Go back and watch the stream. I don't want to do that film again. It's another film I'm never going to think about again. The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes thing, B+, you really want to see that at A or A-. That's not good for animated film. So that's disappointing. I heard it was really funny. Everyone seemed to like it. How does it have a B+? So something's not working there. Last Supper, faith-based, obviously, right? A-, which, again, that should be an A if it's faith-based. Novocaine, B, bad. I don't want to see it. I'm not going to see Novocaine. I've already decided I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to go see Opus instead at some point. I don't know if I'm going to see it tomorrow, maybe Sunday, because I have a feeling it's going to be another terrible A24 film. It's got really bad Rotten Tomatoes score. First of all, if critics that we trash all the time are hating an A24 film, that means I'm going to really hate it because I've been the only person who's been up against all of these A24 films. Oh, it's so great because it's A24. You're not reviewing the movie, you're reviewing the label, the distributor, the brand. I've never done that. Why would you review the brand? Why would you review the director? You're reviewing the film. I'm not reviewing what Coppola did before Megalopolis. I'm watching Megalopolis going, holy shit, one of the worst movies ever made. Okay, so it doesn't matter what happened before. I don't care if you had 50 masterpieces, and this is your 51st film. All 50 before that were masterpieces. This film starts at 0. Do you guys understand that? How's this hard? This isn't hard. This is not hard. So you look at this, nothing's great from a cinema score. And by the way, the box office is bad too. Let me pull that up. I told you what I tell you last night, guys. Who was here on the stream? I told you Novocaine at 8 and Black Bag at 6 million. Let's go and look. Here it is. Oh, looky here. Looky here. Novocaine at 8, Mickey 17 at 8. I told you it would be down. I thought it'd be down 70. It's down almost 60. So 8 million each. So the winner's going to be 8 million. And then you look at Black Bag, 6 million. I could, if you guys ever want to go to Vegas, if we can bet on these things, I would be the man. I would be the Jimmy the Greek non-racist version of this, right? Remember Jimmy the Greek from way back when? Some of the kids on the stream like, who are you talking about? So I would be the best. I nail these things repeatedly. I'll never forget. Remember when we absolutely drilled Last Mermaid? I said 93. Like, what? I mean, when I'm off by like 5 million. Yeah, I'm talking on 100. When I'm off on these little ones, I'm off by 1 million. I call this an 8 and 6. That's what we're looking at. It's a bad weekend, man. When your top 2 films are going to be tied at 8 million, terrible. This has been a bad year, man. As we know, Captain America has been a total letdown. We figured it would be that way because we called it Marvel's in big trouble, okay? And the Thundercocks, I don't think that's going to say, I'm going to call it Thundercocks, just deal with it. I don't think that's going to be great, even though they're telling us it's an A24 film. They're really going all out, right? Florence Pugh's like, it's an A24 film. The fuck it is. It's not an A24 film. What a weird choice for a Looney Tunes title. Parents don't want to take their kids to anything that seems cynical or depressing. Exactly. Well, remember, this is a film that I believe Warner Brothers sold to Catch Up Entertainment. Catch Up has been asking me to watch this thing for like 6 months. I can go back and look at my emails right now. You guys are like, what? They were saying, Eric, will you please watch The Day the Earth Blew Up? And I'm like, I just don't want to. Because if it's not in a theater, like tonight, here's a great example. Let's just talk about this quickly. I mentioned this a lot on the stream. You know, going to a movie is different than watching at home, obviously, for so many reasons. But I think the number one is you're a captive audience and you have no choice to be locked in. Unless the film's as bad as Mickey 17, then I'm going to wander off to the kind of the sidecar, the vestibule up in the corner, and I'm going to be on my phone because it didn't deserve my attention, right? Going back to Social Network, you have the minimal amount of my attention because this film doesn't deserve it. All my attention's on my phone because that's more interesting than what you're showing me here, bong. But when you look at being in that theater, if you're even semi into it, you have no opportunity to hit pause. If you go to take a piss, you're going to miss some of it. So you're locked in. You're more serious, right? You're a professional moviegoer. If you watch at home, like tonight, I started this thing, I swear to God, at like 6. Then I ate dinner, I hit pause, I watched some old wrestling. Then I came back. Now, you're going to say this probably affected the review. I watched the entire thing. And again, it's a C, but was I as dialed in as I would be at a theater? Would I have the same grade? Yes, because I think it's the same, obviously the same film. But I think that it is so important that you invest in going to the film, going to the movies, and then being locked in. You're going to get more out of it, unless the film's garbage like Mickey 17. Then I say forget it. But a film like Magazine Dreams comes out next week. Huge fan of Magazine Dreams. I know it only got an 89% from us. Remember, there are things about that film that are so frustrating because it's a film that could have been an all-time classic, and just some things happen that I go, damn. I think that's why I penalized it harder on the score than I typically do in a film that I like that much, because we had the opportunity to remove things from Magazine Dreams and make a better film. The ending in particular, I want to talk about when it comes out. We can talk about that. The ending, I've got the perfect ending, but we're not going to ever see it because they have the version that you are going to have to watch. So it's too late to fix it. But Magazine Dreams is one of, if not the best film of the year, without question. Comes out next week. Go support that. That's a film that was picked up by Briarcliff. They also picked up The Apprentice, a studio that's coming up and taking chances, right? They're going to say, I know Jonathan Majors has that off-the-field shit, no doubt. But let's give this film a shot. It deserves it. It's that good. And then his performance is one of the best you're going to see this year, without question. So we need to celebrate Briarcliff, support Briarcliff, get out there and spend money on Briarcliff, because this film is going to open at like 5, 4, 3. We need to push this thing. Let's see if we can't get this to a 10. I mean, I wish I had that power. I would love to see that happen. But if you can, just promise me you will go see Magazine Dreams, invest in that film. You'll come back here next weekend after seeing it, and you'll say to me, that was a very good film. I told you guys Scorsese's going to absolutely fall in love with it. He's going to be like, I'm watching a version of what I did. It's definitely Joker, which, of course, Phillips was inspired by Scorsese. So, of course, you have that going on here. No question. But there's so much great here. Not good, great in Magazine Dreams. So I can't wait for you guys to see that film. I'm meeting Jonathan Majors next Thursday at a Magazine Dream screening. Nice. I love it. Listen, I've been defending Jonathan since, listen, we talked about when this whole thing broke out. And there's no question that what happened in that cab was not pretty, okay? I wasn't there. You weren't there. We don't know the full story. I do know from the legality standpoint that he didn't go to jail, okay? Doesn't mean he wasn't guilty of something. I think he was guilty of what was it, 3rd degree, something. But, okay, here's the deal. I want to be able to separate art and artist. I do not want to go back, and I talk about this a lot. Go look at Hillbilly Elegy, okay? That's a film that I think is pretty good at what it's doing. The problem that we had when we watched Hillbilly Elegy is the majority of critics in the space are left wings. They're like, oh my God. And this is before J.D. Vance is the big evil guy. Before, they were like, oh, it's about J.D. Vance, therefore it's terrible. Let me tell you something. You can trust nobody who says that. Nobody. I mean, they're useless. They've just announced to the world they are completely and utterly unreliable and untrustworthy and biased and essentially bought and paid for. It's unfortunate because you do not bring your ideology into film. You don't do that. And the problem is so many people, that loser from the rap, all these people, they bring their ideology in. And the problem is you suck at that point. You're done. It's over, man. You are useless. I don't know why you even do this, because you want to impress and push your fucking ideology on us. That's not your job. Your job is to review these things and be objective about them. You're not supposed to say, oh, the film does some interesting things, but because it's about J.D. Vance, we can't. No. You're done. You're fucking done. It's over. Don't even bother. Don't ever say another word to me. I don't ever want to hear from you again, because you're completely and utterly rendered unimportant, because you can't get out of your own way to push your ideology aside and just watch the film and be objective and be fair. Okay? Yeah, learn how to do that. It's not hard. You make it hard because you're so tribal. Being tribal's for fucking losers. Let me tell you something. It's a loser mentality. If you're a tribal person who's like, oh, everyone who's right's great, everyone who's left's terrible, whatever, flip it. Doesn't matter. Do not be tribal. Tribal is the most uninteresting position you can have on the board. There's nothing that is more, I don't have any interest in discussing with anybody, is someone who is like, oh, everybody who's this, oh, Elon's all this, Trump's all this, Biden's all this. Listen, everyone has shades of gray. There are certainly people who overall are pieces of shit and overall good people. But you need to judge everyone individually on the actions in front of you right at that moment. It's not hard. This is not very hard. I don't understand why that is hard. Well, I can tell you why. Because being tribal and banging the drum for your fucking side is how you make it, right? You become that shill, that grifter. Yeah, that's who you are. Look at the right. The right is the worst at this, right? Look, now everybody's getting swatted. Oh, I just had a pizza ordered. Oh, now they're all coming after us. Who knows if this isn't even true? Can you imagine saying that shit? Oh, guys, I just got swatted, and I'm making it up. First of all, if I've ever said anything on the stream, it is 100% truth. Elizabeth Olsen. The Olsen story is 100% true. What happened in the thing with Skeet Ulrich, 100% true. This stuff, I don't make shit up. But imagine that. Oh, I just got swatted, guys. Oh my God. Because you know it's going to get attention. I got swatted. Someone ordered pizza and dropped it off here. Oh my God. And 3 pizzas. I saw that from someone. These right-wing grifters are, I think, some of the worst, because they all are pals, right? If one person said, they all jump on it because they all support each other. Ooh, can you be a right-wing grifter with me? Great. Let's all be a big army of right-wing grifters and we'll get things. Look at Tim Pool. Tim Pool used to be the, quote, liberal. Now he realizes saying whatever is going to appease his base is how he makes money. I am never going to do that. It's never happened. We're doing it here tonight. The easy thing for me to do would come on here and tell you, oh my God, the Russo brothers, the worst directors ever. They're going to destroy Marvel because here it is, another terrible film. And then I didn't do it because for whatever reason, I wasn't built that way. I have no interest in doing that shit. Okay. If I'm hammering a film, it's because it deserved it. It's not because the director did something personal to me. In fact, a lot of directors from their past films go back and say, Poor Things, hated that film. And then I turn around and said, oh my God, Kinds of Kindness, I really enjoyed. It's a weird film, but I liked a lot of it. And that is, conversely, Poor Things, weird film that I hated. So you have to be able to get back to level, objective, unbiased, whatever you want to call it. And most people do not have that ability. It's a shame. And unfortunately, it's the majority of people out there. Are you going to... Okay, so here's the thing. Quickly on this, and then we'll get ready to wrap. Snow White reactions come out tomorrow night. I might be down in Orange County. If that's the case, then I probably won't do a live when it drops. Maybe later at night, we'll see. There is some interesting developments. I might be going to see Snow White on Monday. If that happens, then we'll, of course, have a reaction stream on Monday. But here's what I expect, right? The anti-woke people are going to hammer it. The pro-woke people are going to say, hey, it's fine. And the Disney shows are all going to say it's pretty good. Okay? That's what's going to happen out of this tomorrow. You watch. In fact, the majority of those first reactions you're going to see are positive because, remember, Disney only invites people that they know are going to say positive things. The shills, they're bought and paid for, the tribal Disney people, right? And I am not part of that, never will be. I will never commit to anything from a review standpoint for any studio. It would never happen. I would never say, can you accentuate the positives? We let you go. I'll see it on Thursday. I don't need to see it on Monday. I don't care. I'll see it Thursday. Why would I give up my power to be objective and destroy something if it's bad so that I can see it on Monday? What a pathetic loser mentality. What a bad, why would you do that? But a lot of people do. They do because they measure their worth. And did I go see the movie early? What does that get you? Most of you don't even have a fucking audience. Why do you care? Seriously. I mean, you're at a movie on a Monday that opens on Thursday. No one cares that you're there. You don't even move the needle. Like, you don't even have an audience. Why are you there? Because it makes you cool? If that's what makes you cool, man, you have no life. Let me tell you. Let me make that very clear to you. You don't have a real life. That's not life. I saw the movie on Monday. Who cares? Nobody cares. You're a nobody. You know why you're a nobody? Because you don't ever do the unexpected. You won't ever say something like Mickey 17's terrible, 93% because it's bong. That makes you unreliable and uninteresting. 100% over. All right, guys, stream's over. I'm tired. It's Friday night. Let me go watch old wrestling and go to bed. So forgive me for not destroying the electric state here tonight. Watch it. Come back and talk about it with me on Sunday. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, we can discuss your reactions to it. But again, be fair. Be objective. It's all I ask. If there's one thing to take away from any stream we ever do, always root yourself in the ability to level the playing field and say to yourself, let's be objective and fair and go from a completely objective standpoint. If you can do that, then you are interesting. You are making progress. You're a critical thinker, and we need more of those people in this world. No question about it. Thanks for being here live. City of Angels. MMT is out.